Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Eunice Journal. And if this is your first time of coming across this channel, you're welcome. My name is Eunice Isimoya, and this is where I drop videos on the things that I'm doing on becoming a better version of myself. It's 2026, and we all have decided to become better versions of ourselves. This is my own way of showing the things that I'm doing different on becoming a better version. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, this is the right time to do that. Kindly click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to know when I drop a video every week. Have you done that? Okay, that being said, let's dive right into what I did for this week. Okay, let's go into the things I did for this week. Before I go into the things that I did this week, I would like to say that throughout this week, I drank water from Monday to Saturday. That is, I broke my fast with water, and I'm excited to share that after this week, I'm going back to the normal routine of drinking water every morning when I wake up because the fast has ended. Yay! The fast has ended. So next week, we're taking water immediately we wake up in the morning. So I drank 50 cl of water throughout this week, like when I broke my fast. I did not miss any. I didn't take 60 or 50. I drank 50 cl. I measured it immediately. I break my fast. That's not the only water I drink in a day. Before you would think that's the only water I drink in a day. No, I am just telling you that this is the water that I took at a particular time. All right. Okay, and also for my tea, I drank my tea for just 3 times this week. Same thing as last week. I don't know what's happening, but hopefully next week I'll be able to do better. The days I drank my tea this week were Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I drank the tea before bed, hibiscus tea and green tea for the remaining 2 days. But hopefully by next week I'm going to do better. Believe me. So for Monday, I have a lot to share. Look, this is my podcast journal. You already know it. I have a lot to share from the things that I did. So for Monday, I prayed for about 42 minutes. Actually, this week I prayed for long minutes. Like to me, I prayed for long minutes. But before I continue, I think somebody said that it's not the amount of time that you pray. That even if you pray for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, it's okay. I'm not arguing with the person. Each and every one of us has what we want to achieve and who we want to become. So I'm not saying your 2 minutes prayer or your 5 minutes prayer is not okay. For you, it is okay. But for me, I have decided that I want to draw closer to God. I want to know God more for myself. And what better way do I have to do that rather than praying and studying the word? And actually, when I started this prayer routines, I didn't start it just because let me explain why I started it. When I'm praying, I tend to forget the prayer points I want to table before my father. Then maybe when I'm done, maybe I pray for like 5 minutes, I'll feel like all the prayer points I need to pray about they're all exhausted. I've exhausted it. But no, I have my family, I have my friends, I have myself, I have my surroundings. I have a lot I need to pray. I grew up watching my mom pray for long hours, and God has never failed her. I need to copy the footsteps of my parents. So that is why I said I want to be spending more time with God. So for Monday, I prayed for 42 minutes, and also I read the book of Job chapter 4. And there's also something I need to also state before I continue. I have stopped using King James Version to study the Bible, because I do not understand what is happening in King James. So that is why I have moved to a simpler version. So, and after my prayers, the next thing I did was to listen to podcasts. Let me reiterate. Sorry, the week started from the 19th of January to 24th of January. And the first person I listened to for that day, like the podcast I listened to on Monday, was Jay Shetty. And he was talking about the fact that your life does not change in a year if you repeat the same thing that you did for 2025 in 2026. You're still going to end up the same. That's just the bitter truth. The same circle you went through in 2025, you're still going to end up with the same result, like almost the same result for 2026. There are some things he mentioned that you can work on, the practical choices things you can decide to change in 2026 if you want a better 2020, a better year. Yeah, a better year. That's the best way I can put it, because the year doesn't just change just because there's a new year. It doesn't just change everything around you. You are still the same person that was lifted from 2025 over to 2026. So it doesn't just change because it's 2026. So you have to make the decisions to change a lot of things about the things that you do in order to have a productive year. So I'll be listing a few. You already know that I won't give you everything that he talked in his video, like in his podcast. You have to go and listen to it if you want to know more about it. So I'll be telling you that some of the practical choices you can decide to make for this 2026 in order to have a better year, according to what he said. There are a few that he mentioned, and the first one is public speaking. You can decide to work on your public speaking skills, just like me now. I'm currently working on the ability to speak to my camera directly, and it has been a very good decision for me actually. I am not better at it yet, but I'm trying my best. And the next thing is emotional regulation. You see, emotional regulation, it is something that can make you or mar you. If you don't know how to control your emotions, I'm always an advocate of allow your emotions to display. Like, feel your emotions. If you're angry, allow it. Then you can trace back the reason for that anger. You don't have to be acting mad. Sorry. You don't have to be acting mad all the time. When you are stressed, when you're stressed, when you're angry, when you're feeling some kind of way, be able to note the kind of emotions you are feeling at a particular time. I think is a skill, is a skill everyone should have. If you don't know how to manage your emotions, before you shout at your destiny helper, you will not know. That is why it's very important to take this very seriously. Emotional regulation, your communication skill with people, and also the last one I'm going to talk about is networking. We all need people in this life. You cannot do life alone. You're already not even doing life alone, because in the market it's people that sell something to you. When you're going out to take cab, it's people. So you have to work on networking skills. Like, your networking skills, you have to work on it. Meet people of value. You also have to be a person of value if you want to meet people of value. That's one thing though. You have to be a person of value if you want to connect with people of value. That is what I have learned in over 3 months that I have been listening to podcasts. And I think the best place for you to learn about networking and also being a person of value is Winnie's podcast. Like, I'm giving you expo. That's where you get to learn how to be a valuable person, how to know your values and your worth and your purpose. Go to Winnie's podcast. You would learn everything that you need to know. For the thank you that I said on Monday, I appreciated one of the workers in my office. I think he gifted me 500 naira that day. So I appreciated him for giving me 500 naira. So for Tuesday, you already know the amount of water I drank. I already stated it at the beginning of this video, but let's forgot. I drank 50 cl of water to break my fast. So for Tuesday, I woke up, I prayed for 37 minutes, and I read the book of Job chapter 5. It is written in my journal, in my Canva journal, that I really did not understand the book of Job chapter 5. I think that was the part where Eliphaz, that's the friend of Job, was talking to him. That was the day I decided to stop using King James Version to read the Bible, because I was not understanding what his friend was telling him. But I know he was advising him. I think he was advising him to curse God or something like that. I really do not understand the book of Job chapter 5. Although I read it over and over again, the English was not Englishing to me, if there's any word like that. Maybe this week I'll revisit it with the new version, the new translation that I'm using currently, to check, to read it and see for myself. So that being said, I pray for 37 minutes. You can see I don't think I'm going to mention I don't know. I don't think I'm going to mention 25 minutes, and I'm proud. And that same Tuesday, I listened to Winnie's podcast, and the topic was how to build a very strong foundation for 2026. Winnie said a lot of things on how to build a strong foundation for 2026. She gave out pillars that you need to build a strong foundation for 2026. You can go and listen to it on Winnie's podcast, because I am still not going to give you the full information that she stated in the video. I will just give you just a few. I'll read out a few and try and explain the ones that she talked about. So the first one is you should get clarity on your purpose. I've mentioned it before, like, if you want to know what your purpose is if you want to get some clarity on what you're here on earth to do, the best place you should be is Winnie's page, Winnie's YouTube channel. That's the best place you should be, getting clarity on your purpose. And I noted that the best way to do it is to silence the noise of the world. That is how to get clarity on your purpose. She means silence the noise of the world. Have you ever tried dropping your phone, dropping your devices, and just laying on your bed, or maybe sitting in a quiet room, and try and think about your life? Think about why you are you, the things that make you you, why you're here on earth, what is your assignment, what are your plans. Have you ever tried it? Because social media is a big distraction to us as human beings. Social media it was the greatest gift to man, and also the most terrible gift to man. Social media is that is what social media is. Then the next thing she also mentioned was design a powerful vision for the year. Have a goal. I know by now you should have already written down the things that you want to do. Make it visionary, like picture those things, picture yourself in that particular position. Write it down. See, the things you do not write down, I promise you will forget them. The plans you do not write down, you will forget them. Maybe you have plans for April. Trust me, if you don't write it down and probably go back to them, like go back, revisit those plans, like the things that you have stated down and the goals that you have said, the things you've said you're going to achieve. Trust me, when April comes, you will not remember those things. So that is why you need to create a vision board for the things that you want, to do. If you don't know how to create vision board, maybe you can go on YouTube and check how to create vision board, or you can drop it in the comments of this video. Maybe I'll tell you how I know how to create a vision board. I'm not a pro yet in it, but I'll just give you the little tips that I know about vision board. Then the next one is commit intentionally to growth and emotional mastery. I already said it when I mentioned it in Jeshet's what I listened to on Monday. You see, this podcast, they are interrelated, they are interwoven. That's if two persons or three persons keep saying the same thing, it means that you have to know it. You have to pay attention to it. That's the third one that she talked about. And I said I'm not going to give you all of them. And build high impact habits. Yeah, you already know I'm documenting my habit routines and stuff like that. So these are some of the routines that I'll be adding to my list of routines as time goes on. The first one is reading. I already started reading the Bible, but I want to start reading books, but not now. I'm not adding it this week or next week. No, not now. Reading is something I want to add. I want to be more informed. Well, that's all I'll be sharing from the podcast I learned on Tuesday. And I already told you how I drank tea though, but let me just say it again. I drank hibiscus tea Tuesday night before I went to bed. And I also appreciated that same person that gifted me 500 naira on Monday gave me chin chin on Tuesday. So I appreciated him for giving me chin chin. Over to Wednesday. For Wednesday, I prayed for 45 minutes. You already know when I drank my water. I prayed for 45 minutes on Wednesday. I'm just a proud girl. This week, I'm just so proud of how long and how connected I was during my prayers. And just clap for me. Clap for me now. Clap for me. You're proud of me, I know. I prayed for 45 minutes, although there is a but for the prayer. It's supposed to be like an hour. It's supposed to be like an hour prayer, but towards the tail end of the prayer, I decided to sit down. That was the wrong decision that I made. I sat down and I started feeling sleepy. So, because for the fact that I was feeling sleepy, I decided that I prayed for 45 minutes. I don't know how else to explain it to you. I prayed for that 45 minutes. Although I already thought that I've moved past this falling asleep stage, like maybe feeling sleepy when you're praying. I thought I've moved past it. Do we really outgrow these things? I don't know. As time goes on, I'll find out. Then, but that same Wednesday, I listened to Winnie again. The topic was 15 things that shows you are not an elegant person. 15 things that shows you are not an elegant person. I think last week I shared something similar, things that you should keep private. I think that was what I shared in my last week video. If you have not seen the last week video, kindly pause this one, go and watch the last week video and come back to this one. Thank you. 15 things that show that you are not an elegant person. There are quite a lot. I can't share everything with you. Seriously, I cannot. You have to go and listen to it yourself. The first one is when you overly post everything about yourself on social media. I agree with this one. If you're in the toilet, you're posting. If you're peeing, you're posting. If you're eating, you're posting. You just got a bag, you're posting every little details about you. If they want to actually kidnap you, they can come and kidnap you from your house because you even post your location. Me personally, although I might post the city where I am, maybe I traveled and stuff like that, I can post the city where I am. But posting my location, or there's this thing I used to see people do on sometimes on my WhatsApp status. You are traveling to a particular state or you are traveling to a particular city. You're already writing on your, although I was guilty about this thing before. Yeah, I used to do it before. I'm not going to play scent. I think that was like years ago that I did that. You're traveling to a particular city, you're already writing it on your status. Please, so please be nice. No, that does not show you're elegant. It does not show you're elegant. So please, in 2026, stop it. It does not show that you're elegant. The second one is almost like the first one. She said, sharing too much information and flaunting your wealth. If you're wealthy, please keep it to yourself. If you don't keep it to yourself, nobody is asking you to show us how many cars or how many golds or how many silver that you have. Keep it to yourself. It's tacky. It is tacky to showcase too much. The next one is when you lack basic manners, you're not an elegant person. You do not know how to say thank you when they give you something. You do not know how to apologize when you do something wrong. Some persons don't even know how to say I'm sorry. Like when they say they are sorry, it's like they are moving a mountain. Where we're saying I'm sorry is something so difficult for you as a human being. Please, if you don't know how to do those things, you don't have basic manners, it means that you are not an elegant person. Come to me. I will teach you how to stay consistent in building this habit that will change your life. The fourth one that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to mention just 5 out of 15. When you make every event a photo studio or a photo section, you go anywhere, you go to any restaurant. Nobody is saying you should not take pictures, but how about now? You go to a particular place, maybe you have a meeting with somebody and you will not take just 1, 2, 3 pictures and rest. Oh no, you will go to different angles of the place to make sure you get different pictures on the same clothes. And at the end of the day, you might not even end up posting all those pictures. No, you will not post all those pictures. It's going to be on your phone. Please, some people do it in restaurants. You can take pictures, okay, but they do it to the extent that even the security is there. You come and meet you, be like, Madam, stop taking pictures. Don't embarrass yourself, please. Do not. It's not nice. And the fifth one I said I'm going to share is when you lack proper body hygiene, you're not an elegant person. Yes, when you smell, you're not an elegant person. So you have to be conscious of your body, how you smell. You can, according to her, she said she used to do this experiment, and which I'm currently working on trying. Like at different times of the day, you can maybe call your friend to smell you, like to perceive what you smell like, if it is awful or if the smell is nice. And she said, when you try it and they tell you their honest truth, please do not kill them for it. Sorry for that word. Do not beat them for it. Accept it and make changes. And that is it. For that same Wednesday, I appreciated my boss. He bought chin chin for me. For Tuesday, they gave me chin chin. Wednesday, they also bought chin chin for me. I don't know. Chin, how do they pronounce chin chin chin? Chin. Anyway, they bought chin chin for me and I appreciated him for that. Then on Thursday, I prayed for 40 minutes. Although I still felt sleepy on Thursday. I don't know. The devil is a liar. Say with me, the devil is a liar. I also felt sleepy on Thursday when I was praying, but I prayed for 40 minutes. Yeah. And I studied the book of Job chapter 6. It was at this point on Wednesday I didn't study my Bible. Yeah, I skipped studying the Bible. So I didn't mention that, I just mentioned it. On Thursday, I studied the book of Job chapter 6 and I used NLT to study that part of the Bible. And I can tell you, I was imagining the situation of Job, like assuming I was there. The pain that Job went through, I don't think I've seen a man in this current time that have gone through that. I know there are a lot of problems in the world, but the pain that Job went through, I was just marveled. Like the way that I was reading the Bible and it was clear that the sores on his body, how he lost I go read the book of Job. Honestly, just go read the book of Job. He was actually an upright man. Upon all those things, he didn't blame God, he didn't question God. He even said, I think it was in chapter 7 when he said that you cannot question God. If you take God to court, he will win you. Be you innocent, be you not innocent. He giveth and he taketh. That is the understanding we all should get to know. That is it. The only thing you should do is pray for grace, pray for mercy. He even stated, like he said in I think that was in chapter 7, He was saying he wishes that there is somebody that is in between him and God that he can talk to, that will help him talk to God. And I was like, oh wow, maybe that is why God have seen this thing. That was why he sent his son Jesus Christ. Jesus is now the mediator between us and God. That was what Job wanted us at that time. Now that we have Jesus, we human beings are still even questioning God and doing going astray and stuff like that. Yeah. But as at the time of Job, there was no I don't know how to put it, how to explain it. Jesus was not there to be the mediator. You go please read your Bible. Read your Bible and you understand better what I'm trying to explain. I might not be able to give it to you how I got it. I might not be able to explain it to you. Please read your Bible. That's all I can say. And also I listened to the Glow Up Secret podcast that same Thursday, although I was not able to finish it. I didn't finish the Glow Up Secret podcast that day because my phone was malfunctioning and the network was so bad. So I listened to just half of it. But there's something that I picked that she said on in her podcast. She said, trauma is not what happened to you, but what happened inside of you. When she mentioned it, I immediately wrote this thing, this quote, this word down, and started thinking about my childhood and how I grew up and the kind of things that was meted on me and how it affected me. And I was able to resonate with this quote that trauma is not what happened to you, but what happened inside of me. But if you're someone here and maybe from your childhood it was really rough for you, or you were maltreated, or you try as much as you can to forgive your past, forgive yourself, like your past self, forgive your environment, because if you don't do that, it will keep hurting you, it will keep coming back to you. Forgive the things that happened to you years ago when you were little, things that maybe your parents did not was not were not really there for you. Try as much as you can to forgive those things. That's all I have to say for that Thursday. And also I for Thursday I drank a cup of green tea before going to bed. And also I said a lot of thank you for that Thursday because I was in the market that day. And remember, when I'm in the market, any day I'm in the market, I'm always saying thank you. Thank you is like my second name. Maybe very soon they'll be able to say that girl that is always saying thank you. I don't know. Let's move on over to Friday. Then to Friday, yeah, for Friday, I prayed for 31 minutes. That's the lowest. That's the lowest that I prayed for. And I'm really glad. Like, seriously, I'm really, really glad of how far that I've come and how well God is helping me. I'm really, really glad. I prayed for 31 minutes and I studied the book of Job chapter 7. I was mentioning the things that I saw in the book of Job chapter 7 earlier on. I think that was when his other friend, Bildad, that's the name of Job's friend, Bildad, was telling him to question God, like was telling him to take God to court and stuff like that. It was later in chapter 8 and 9 that Job was telling his friend that yes, you can't question God. Even if you take God to court, he's going to win you and stuff like I already mentioned it though. And also I jotted in my calendar here that the thing about praying is connected to God, not just about the minutes you pray. I jotted it down here. In as much as I'm happy about the minutes that I prayed for, I'm also happy that I'm able to stay with God with this and this amount of time. This is something that I did not do before now. So I'm glad that I'm able to stay with God, communicating with him. Then also I had to finish the podcast that I did not finish. That was on Thursday. That same the Glow Up Secret podcast. I had to finish it on Friday. In her podcast, what she talked about, like the things that I jotted down from her podcast. I remember I'm still going to give you a few. I'm not going to give you everything. Like habits, the habits that help you rewire your body's your nervous system. And the first one is your body work. I mentioned I was going to add reading to my routine. I'm also trying my best to add working out, exercise, stretches and stuff like that to my routine. I've not added it yet. When I add it, I'll let you know. Just be written for me. Body work, like jumping, like breathing, controlling your breath, like maybe doing a few minutes of breath. You know, when you're overwhelmed, there's something that I've adapted to do. When I'm overwhelmed and I'm feeling some kind of way, I just take in deep breaths and calm down. Maybe I do like 3 to 4 times. It helps. It helps to calm me down. I'm giving you I'm giving you the things that helps me. So you should try out those things that I'm mentioning. And also the next habit you should that helps you to rewire your nervous system that she talked about was mindset and self-talk. First of all, I want to say something about self-talk. You see, when people talk down on you. You should know how to block the noises of people. You should learn how to block when people talk down on you, talk negative things to you. That's the first thing. That causes damage. If that's people talking negative things about you, it causes damage to you as a human being. But what causes more damage is when you talk negative to yourself. When you keep telling yourself you're not good enough, when you keep telling yourself you're not beautiful enough, you keep telling yourself you cannot do this, you cannot do that. No. Learn how to talk positive things to yourself. Learn affirmations, like how to say beautiful things to yourself. You're wealthy, you're successful, you're a blessing, you walk in favor. Learn how to say those things. It is, you might think all these things I'm saying now is not good, or maybe it does not make sense. I'm telling you for a fact, it does make sense. It helps your self-esteem, it helps boost your confidence. Learn how to control the things that you think about, the negative things you think about. Control it. When you're thinking of bad things or negative thoughts, you can just say these are imaginations, these are not real, these are not reality. You cast it out immediately. I think it's written somewhere in the Bible where you should cast down imaginations. I can't remember where it is. I don't know where it is in the Bible. If you know where it is, please help me in the comment section. Even the Bible talked about it, and you are acting like you know it all. I'm telling you, it's to help you. For Friday, I didn't take my tea, and also I said thank you to the secretary in my office. So that being said, let's move over to Saturday. I don't, is that correct? Saturday, I broke my fast with 50 cl of water already. And also I prayed for 50 minutes. Not 15, no, 50 minutes. I prayed for 50 minutes. And as I'm mentioning this 50 minutes, what should you be doing? You should be saying, "Go girl, I'm proud of you, girl." That's what you should be saying in the comment section right now. Clap emojis. I want to see all of that in the comment section. Thank you. I prayed for 50 minutes and I read the book. I studied the book of Job, chapter 8 and 9. That was where I saw something in the book of Job, chapter 9. That's when I saw it. It might not be a surprising thing for some of you, but I was surprised. I thought the bear is only an animal, like bear, bear. Bear is only an animal. The bear is a cluster of stars. They have stars like Pleiades. Where Job mentioned those stars, where the part where he said that God is the creator of all everything. He created stars in different clusters. He created stars and everything on the planet here. So there's no way that he can challenge him. So a lot of things that he was saying God created. And when I saw the bear, I was like, before now I used to read and pass that place like the bear is an animal. But I went deep into it. When I saw it, I saw that Pleiades is a cluster of stars. There's one other one, I can't remember the name. There is also a cluster of stars. And I was, what is the bear doing here? That was when I went to check and also found out that the bear is a cluster of stars. Like, I don't know if you have ever watched a movie, they mentioned the zipper. Like in those American movies that I used to see, there is a place that they used to say they are looking at the stars and they will count it. I've never understood it. They will be like, is it shaped somehow? It's shaped somehow. That's stars that they're talking about, that is called the zipper. Is what Job described as the bear. I know you do not know it before. You do not know it before. I'm just telling you now. So thank me for that. Then I also listened to Jay Shetty's podcast that same Saturday. Saturday I listened to Jay Shetty's podcast, and this part, I don't know, God helped me to explain this part very well. It was as if this podcast that I listened to on Saturday, it was as if it's a miracle that found me. It was addressing my past and also addressing the future decisions I have to make. The topic of the podcast was love without losing yourself. That was the topic of the podcast. And I remember that the times that I've been in relationships in the past, I've always been this person that this is a secret about me you don't know. I'm giving it to you now. I've always been a person that when I'm in a relationship, I tend to forget about myself, about the things that makes me, about my dreams and goals, and I start living in the dreams of another person, like the person that I call my partner. It happens unconsciously for me. I lose who I am and become someone else just to fit into the version of the person that they need at a particular time. When after the last relationship I had, I told myself, no, I'm not going to be in any other relationship with further notice. And as I was listening to this podcast on Saturday, I was like, God, thank you for bringing this podcast my way. It's as if He knew what I needed exactly. I don't know how I'm going to explain it to you, but I'm going to refer you to go to Jay Shetty's page. If you're somebody that you want to fall in love, or you're already in love, or you're in a relationship, or you plan to be in a relationship, you should definitely go to Jay Shetty's YouTube channel and see this podcast. Like it's a full, I don't know if it's showing, it's a full page. So I don't know how I'm going to explain everything that I jotted down. I'll just say one thing from here. He said, don't ignore the signals. This part where I'm saying I'm going to say this one, where he said, don't ignore the signals, like apologizing for things you did not do in a relationship. Before, I used to have this mentality that let me just apologize and move on. No, I got to understand that you don't just apologize in a relationship. You don't just apologize for things you did not do. If the person you're with does not know how to apologize, please, it's a red flag. It is a red flag. If the person you're with does not, be you a girl, be you a boy, if the person you're with does not know how to apologize, it is a red flag. A healthy type of love is staying who you are, while the person you're with also stays who he is or who she is. But the both of you grow together, not one person having to grow, like to go beneath the other person. You have to complement each other. You people are not the same. You have your life and he has his life. You people just have to work in. That's why it's called partnership. See, I really cannot explain this podcast that I listened to. I cannot explain it. You have to go listen to it. If you want to be in a relationship, or if you want to be loved, or you want to love someone, please go to Jay Shetty's post, Jay Shetty's YouTube channel, and look for it. The topic is love without losing yourself. Just type it on YouTube, you'll find it. And also, if you want me to share the link to you, you can also drop it in the comment section. I'll share the link to you. And on Saturday, I drank a cup of green tea. In my Canva journal, it says I listened to Jay Shetty's podcast on how to love and not lose yourself. Love and remain you, not living your partner's dream. Do you get it? Love and remain who you are, not living your partner's dream. Also, I was in the market that same Saturday, so I said a lot of thank you. I've already said that any day I'm in the market, my other words apart from do you have this, I want to buy this, the constant word that is there next is thank you. So that is all I did for the third week of January. Yeah, January is remaining 1 week, so by next week that's the end of this month. And also, let me announce to you that this week makes it 3 months that I started building habits. So clap for me, Joe. It makes it 3 months that I started building this habit, and I wouldn't have made a better choice. This is like the best decision I've ever made in my life, and it has been God. It has been beautiful. It has been moments of learning and peace and calmness and stuff like that. People around me can tell that there's something different about this Eunice. So if you want to build these habits yourself, if you want an accountability partner, do let me know in the comment section, and I'll tell you how to go about it. I think that is all for what I have to say. If you've watched the video to this point and you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please, this is the right time for you to do that. Kindly click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to know when I drop a video every week. And also, thank you for watching and staying with me. See you next week. Bye bye.